someone please explain to me why the failed e-thought keeps talking? Like, legitimately, why the failed e-thought keeps talking about things she has no idea what she's talking about. Not only does she not know what she's talking about, she keeps lying about stuff. Lying about things all the time. Hell, I've already covered videos where she challenged people to fight, and as soon as they say, I accept, she's like, no, 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 not you. It's, was it Kung Pao? Kung Pao Under the Fist? Now I'm trying to remember what movie it was. But the one where it says he'll fight anybody in the village, and then everybody starts standing up. He's like, no, 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 not you. No, 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 not you. No, 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 not you either. It's like that. Except she's less funny. But yes, America's taint has opened up her dumbass mouth again and is getting wrecked by the internet. So what did this dumb broad say, and how are we going to pick everything she said apart? Well, I got it right here. So Assassin's Creed released or I should say Ubisoft released a statement directed towards Japanese people saying they're sorry for, well, nothing, but trying to apologize. It's a lengthy non-apology letter, and it's all them coping, saying they said, they never said things they said. I'm going to pick that apart too. But before we get into the video, guys, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you share this video out. It seems like I say some things YouTube doesn't like, and I go from gaining 70 and 100 subs in like 3 days to I get nothing for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. So let's help me break their bubble, because, screw YouTube. I'm going to get the information out there one way or another. But back on topic. So the statement Ubisoft puts out, she says, maybe just say you're racist response to a video game is indicative of moral decay. Get bent. Moral decay is when some woman gets online and makes a comment about something she hasn't read or has no idea what's going on. There's your moral decay. But let's take a look into why Alyssa Mercante thought she had to speak up and say it's those racist white people. Well, it's because she didn't read and didn't know what Ubisoft was doing and assumed it was directed towards white people when it was in fact directed towards Japanese people. But I mean, I guess, again, now that we have, multiple articles like this now, where the Verge reporter is calling them racist because, they're white adjacent. It's funny how everybody's white adjacent, or, the blackface of white supremacy, when it's not the weirdos that look like this complaining about it. Here we go. Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante played dumb and put blame on Mark Kearns, aka Grums, after she described Japanese people as racist for calling out Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. Now, I've seen people in my comments saying, oh, they never said it was true. But at the same time, I've seen them tweet, no, this was a true character. So, it's all just coping and seething and attempting to make themselves not look as dumb as they are. But Mercante initially reacted to a statement from Ubisoft addressing the backlash that the company has been receiving for its Assassin's Creed Shadows game. The company has received significant backlash on social media, YouTube, and in the form of a change.org petition. Currently, I think those numbers are a little higher. Like they're 97,446 signatures. So that's a little over the 96,000. In fact, it even calls the company to immediately discontinue the launch of the Assassin's Creed Shadows game and show sincere research and respect for Japanese history and culture. But for those of you who are saying Microsoft has never said this was a historically accurate game, let's jump over to Xbox.com, Microsoft. And let's jump down to their official statement on this game. We're showing real historical figures such as Oda Nobunaga, and a lot of events happened during that time, so you're not only playing in feudal Japan, but learning about its fantastic time and period. Oops. Well, now that one's out of the way, but here we go to the section where Ubisoft themselves said it's fake, it's not real. After all the people that I've covered in previous videos said, no, this is an absolutely real character. Assassin's Creed Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction, fantasy, fake. You got conflicting statements there, homie. You got conflicting statements there. But here we go with Mercante's tweet. Maybe just say your racist response to a video game is indicative of moral decay. Get bent instead of this. That's what she said. She said it's racist to complain about a fictional black man set in a historical piece. Again, Microsoft, Xbox, Ubisoft says that it's historical. Their reply to the backlash was, it's fictional. You can't have it both ways. From there on, she published a Kotaku article claiming that anyone criticizing Ubisoft was engaging in hate. Her headline blares, this was never about anything other than hate. Yes, we know. Your article is nothing but hate. She declares in the article, a fledgling but ferociously loud group of gamers will tell you that Assassin's Creed Shadow Backlash is about respecting Japanese culture or refusing to accept woke ideologies that are being forced into their games by consulting groups who hold no real power. Let me just replay the video where they said if you don't pay them, make sure you put the fear of God into them, essentially. Now, they don't believe in God, so they obviously didn't say put the fear of God into them. They said make them fearful, i.e., the same thing we've seen them do before. Launch massive campaigns to flag everything and have their 20 or 30 people that have 100 different accounts mass email them to try and make it look like they have some real point or there's a lot more of them, when really, we know that's not true because all of these gaming journalist sites keep getting shut down because nobody's going to them because they're not profitable. But just in like 2014, during the first full-throated iteration of Gamergate, this was never about anything other than hate. You're right. The women involved with that had nothing but hate. They legitimately murdered a person. The women, not the men, the women. But she doesn't want to talk about that, and she doesn't want to talk about how all the women were caught lying a couple of years later. Every single one of them had lied, and none of those things happened. So, just like Gamergate in 2014, Alyssa Mercante is a woman that is lying online to get attention. Mercante supports this claim, writing that the response to Ubisoft were exactly what you'd expect. Racist images, slurs, and calls for historical accuracy in a video game series that has always been steeped in science fiction. An unpublished community note, frequently used by users to add context to post, reads, yeah, I'm going to call X it out because I haven't seen that. And judging by the fact that there's no link to it, you know, hold on. Let me click that link to the article. Because if it exists, she has a screenshot of it. If it exists, she has a screenshot of it. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? There's no screenshot. She puts screenshots of this. Yosuke was the TI hire. That's the same. Well, the same. The same episode I put on the screen in my thumbnails for this. Stanley is such a good character. I love it. Okay, so we're going to say that never existed because there's no screenshot of it and I haven't seen it. So not only does Mercante declare that Japanese gamers and others criticizing the game are just fueled by hate, but she absurdly claims it is connected to US politics. The reactionary right-wing movement in gaming has reared its ugly head again and is no different. And it's happening right now for a reason. Socioculture issues are reaching a fever pitch in an election year. Oh my God. She claims that injecting DEI into a video game is not politics, when it is literally government-backed programs doing this. And then says, no, you guys are wrong. This is gaslighting 101. But then again, there's her tweet. Following the publication of the article, Mercante shared a anonymous post reacting to the article, heavily criticizing it as well as insulting her. She blamed Mark Kern, aka Grumps, for the response. Woman says dumb things. Faces consequences for saying dumb things. Blames the guy she's weirdly attracted to. She said this is all happening because Mark Kern tagged me from behind a block and said I'm attacking all Japanese people when I don't even mention them at all. Your response was, you literally responded to something directed at Japanese people. The only excuse you have is you're dumb as fuck, or you didn't actually read it and you just assumed it was something about racism. Both of those make you a shitty journalist. That's why you're a shitty journalist. You don't read or understand anything that you're talking about. You're only there because you had an OnlyFans page, but that failed, so you couldn't do that anymore. So you had to blackmail your way into Kotaku. All right, for the rest of this, the Park Place says on it, we shouldn't insult her because we're just stooping to her level. Nobody can ever be that dumb. Insult the ever-living shit out of her. Do what you're going to do. These people deserve it. I'm just going to say that. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Again, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this one out. And until the next one, guys, be easy like sleazy.